I'm really pleased to be able to share with you some of the changes that we're making to our update requirements. The changes that I'm going to be talking to you about come into place on the 30th of September 2020. As an instructor, coach, leader, and guide, we know that you already recognize the importance of keeping yourself current and up to date with best practice in paddle sports and coaching. Our current update scheme supports and recognizes and makes it easy for you to provide evidence that you're keeping yourself up to date. From the 30th of September, we'll be making changes to make it easier for you to see your update status and what requirements are upcoming for you, as well as to be able to update and record your update status from within your membership record. We'll also be making it simpler for you to utilize all of your learning and development regardless of the source. Our update requirements are made up of 5 key components, the first one being first aid. That requirement is not changing, so there is still a requirement for you to have appropriate first aid training on your record. Safeguarding training is changing, and from the 30th of September, there is a requirement for you to have appropriate safeguarding training on your record that is dated within the last 3 years, and ongoing training and update requirements in the same situation as first aid, where you need to renew that training every 3 years. You need to be a current member of British Canoeing, Scottish Canoe Association, Canoe Wales, or the Canoe Association of Northern Ireland, depending on where you reside. Agreement to working within our Code of Conduct for Coaching Workforce, and continual professional development. And continual professional development is the main area that's changing on the 30th of September. Currently, the way we calculate CPD is by time, with certain formal and informal development opportunities giving an 18-month or 3-year extension to your CPD. This is given from the date of the CPD application or the course that you've undertaken. I just thought it'd be worth sharing with you an example at this point. So we have Dave, our stand-up paddleboarder, whose CPD expires on the 23rd of December 2021. He's a paddle sport leader developing to become a coach. In September 2020, Dave completes his coach core training. And at the end of that course, on the 1st of September, he has 3 years of CPD added. So his new expiry date is the 1st of September 2023. A few weeks later, Dave becomes a stand-up paddleboard coach, passing his assessment on the 10th of October 2020. That 3 years of CPD being added because he passes his assessment takes his CPD expiry to the 10th of October 2023. So in essence, Dave has undertaken 2 pieces of training and an assessment in quite quick succession. And because of the way that we currently calculate CPD, he's actually only gaining a week or so, or a few weeks of additional time on his update status, even though he's undertaking some quite big and chunky pieces of development. From the 30th of September, we'll be changing the way that we calculate our continuous professional development. It's not going to just be calculated by time, but also by points. So we'll still have a requirement to update our CPD by a certain date. So we will still have a CPD update date. But those formal and informal development opportunities will have a points value associated to them. 5, 10, 15, or 20 points. In order for CPD to be updated, you need to have gained 20 points prior to your expiry date. And let's revisit that example that we had with Dave. So Dave, our stand-up paddleboarder, still got an expiry of the 23rd of December 2021, still a paddle sport leader who wants to become a coach. He's undertaken that same core coach training on the 1st of September 2020, and rather than his CPD being updated at that point, he'll have 20 CPD points added to his record. When he does his discipline-specific training, when he does his assessment, he will also have CPD points added to his record. Where the change comes in is at the point when his CPD is due to expire on the 23rd of December 2021. His membership profile, the membership system, will check his record and see that he has at least 20 CPD points. As we know that Dave does have 20 CPD points, his renewal is set and his new expiry is the 23rd of December 2024. So although he has done the same development over the same period of time, he is actually acknowledged and has a much greater period of update status applied to his record. As you'd expect, British Canoeing training courses, awards and qualifications will automatically update your record with CPD points. And we've got some examples on the screen here of personal skills development courses adding 10 points, coach education courses adding 20, safety and leadership training in this particular example, foundation safety and rescue, would add 10 points, and a leadership development course such as a raft guide training course would give 20 points. But the second major change to our continuous professional development is that we are making it easier, simpler and more straightforward for you to use learning and development regardless of where you undertake it. So for coaches who are involved in many sports, who may undertake development in one of the other sports, we acknowledge the fact that that learning is actually going to have affected your coaching in paddle sport. You are going to have learnt things from it, considered them, reflected on them, and applied them to your coaching. So you as a coach holistically will have developed. And at the moment, our system doesn't allow that to be easily recognized. But what we do want to do is make that easier to recognize moving forward. So points will also be able to be gained through informal development opportunities. In the documentation on the website, you'll see that there are lots more examples, but just for the sake of simplicity here, we've just captured 4 examples. So a learning event such as a workshop or a conference would have 15 points added. Mentoring, that's being a mentor or having a mentor, would be 10 points. Supervised practice, being observed by your line manager, coach developer or head coach, 10 points. Mandatory training, work-based annual update, refresher training, 15 points. We've put considerable time and energy into ensuring that we have a simple to use system within your membership profile so that you're able to manage your CPD, easily see when different aspects of your update requirements need renewing, and be able to submit informal learning so that we can consider it and it can be added to your record.